Hi, I'm Amanda Freed, and I'm coming to you live from the core at La Encantada. And we're continuing to bring you the courses and the information that we'd love to share with you and that we believe you need and that will help you get through these trying times. And that's what we're talking about now, meditation talks for trying times, for changing times. And hopefully, I'm hoping next month we can actually see you in person. So stay tuned for news and information on that. If you're here with me, great. You can also catch recordings of all of this information on tmcaz.com or YouTube or Facebook channels. So know that we're here to support you. And I love a dialogue. So if you guys want to say, hi, I'm here, check in, let me know. Today's topic is, I think, interesting. Hopefully you'll find it too. And I will be asking questions. So you can always type into the chat box. If you don't know where that is, raise a hand. We'll let you know how to do that. We can help you. I've got my fabulous support here. So I wanted to touch on the topic with you today, and I'll talk for a little bit. We'll do a meditation as well. But we're just going to touch on this topic because it's kind of big, and I'm kind of toying with the idea of having this kind of be an opener for when we get together in person. I'm hoping next month will be that. So I just want to ask a question. Have you all been extra tired lately? Now that things are opening up a little bit and you might be getting back to work, you might be getting back to life, are you extra tired lately? See, I speak with a lot of people in the community, friends, clients, and everybody is sort of putting forth the same sentiments. I know I am feeling very much that way. I'm feeling really tired. So I kind of did some research on that. And, okay, I get it's spring and there's pollen out and there's allergies and stuff. But for me personally, as I've come back out into the world and even gone into my working world in person, which I thought I'd never do again, I'm very aware that my nervous system is a little more sensitive than it was before. Meaning, before I could do things that were clearly out of my comfort zone, and I could kind of buck up. I could sort of go, okay, I know I'm too busy this week, but I can do it anyway. And I seem to have lost the ability to overdo it, which is, in my view, a fantastic thing. But I find that a lot of people are frustrated with it, or that they're still trying to do all of those too many things that we did before. Or maybe they're being pressured by friends and family, or friends or family, or by work situations to do all of those things, all the multitasking we've done before. But I want to support you in that there's actually something called crisis fatigue. So when everybody sort of came to me and said, I'm really tired, I don't know what's going on, I did some research and I found what is called crisis fatigue. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that today, and then we'll do a meditation that will support that and hopefully get that a little calmed down. So you don't have to wait till the end to ask a question or to make a comment. Let me know, are you feeling this? Are you feeling this crisis fatigue in your life? And you might say, I don't know, what is it? So it's defined as, and I've shortened everything down a little bit, as a response to prolonged stress. So here we are, we've had prolonged stress. Even if you had a great break during the pandemic, you're like, oh, I didn't have to go to work. It was great. I'm working from my home. I love it. Don't underestimate or discount the fear, the anguish. I mean, there's still parts of the world that are in dire straits, and parts of the country that really are not out of the woods yet. Every bit of that information that comes into your awareness, even if it's not directly affecting you, directly affects you. We may not know it, but it comes out in sneaky ways. I might be, we'll talk about reasons that it happens, and then we'll talk about, signs and symptoms, and then we'll give you some little tools that you can use to assuage some of this feeling. So the reasons, this was really interesting. So what are the causes of this crisis fatigue? War, that's going on. Political instability, well, that's been happening for quite some time now. Pandemics, I think I've mentioned this here. I know I've mentioned it in a lot of my other classes. When this first happened, my beloved son, who's just about to turn 25, said, "Well, Mom, you've been through something like this before." And I wasn't sure if he thought in that moment that I was born in 1916 or that I was aware of what, I mean, that nobody's been through this before. So this is a devastation to all of us. And it's not something, most of us are used to a crisis that is acute, something that happens quickly, it's horrible, it comes to a crescendo, and this has been ongoing. So, having to deal with this pandemic, whatever level you've had to deal with it in your life, you might have had COVID, you might have lost somebody to COVID, you might be safe from it, you might have had a vaccine, you might not have, you may have just been listening to it on the news, you may have lost a job, a home, a loved one. So nobody's getting away from this. We are all affected by this one way or another. And natural disasters, those are happening. There's racial tension. So all of these come under the umbrella of what would have us susceptible to crisis fatigue. And I can say at least 3 or 4 from this list are going on in my awareness right now. So if one of these items would cause us crisis fatigue, imagine what must be going on in your poor little vehicle when we've got a host of these conditions that we're dealing with right now. So give yourself, please, a little grace that, of course, I've got crisis fatigue. Of course, I'm tired. My mind, my nervous system, my body, my emotions are trying to balance this all and still walk upright throughout the day. So if you're feeling this, you're spot on. Nothing wrong with you. We're all feeling the same thing. So here are some symptoms. So you might be more agitated. You might be less patient. You might have muscle aches or tension. We've talked a little bit in this series about your body and how you can feel things in your body. You might either have insomnia, or you might be sleeping more or extra sleepy, or, exhaustion is different than sleepiness. Does that make sense? Exhaustion is different than sleepiness. Sleepiness, you literally want to sleep and you can sleep. Exhaustion is when you just can't even get yourself motivated to do anything. Depression is in there. You can check in with your breathing, which we'll do in a little bit here. Your breathing might have become shallow or so. So all of these symptoms, you can blame them on whatever you want, but a lot of this has to do with crisis fatigue. I have a client, a student who has sudden onset of very severe neck pain. In fact, she's I think going to go do something fairly drastic about it pretty soon. So for a moment, just think about it. Do you have some muscle tension, pain, contraction that you didn't have a year and a half ago or 2 years ago? Do you have some neck issues? Have you had more heart issues? That would make a lot of sense. Low back pain? Are you having indigestion where you didn't have it before? So, I'm hoping, and let me know if some people are having aha moments and going, oh my gosh, I never even thought that would be connected to this crisis or to crisis fatigue. We say that the body is, sort of weak and it's susceptible, but it's actually kind of miraculous that your body is trying to communicate to you that you've had enough, that you're suffering in a way. So we would be really wise to begin to listen to that. So just take a moment. Like I said, type into the chat box. Let me know. Have you had some more ailments, some more pains, some more, sometimes there's going to be urinary tract infections. There's a lot of ways that your body can let you know that this stress is affecting you. So it's really, I always say that the body whispers and then it screams. If you've got something new or something that's maybe flared up recently, and I'll share a personal story in a moment, then you want to pay attention to it, because ignoring it is actually not going to make it better. It's trying to tell you something. Your body is trying to get your attention. In fact, I love to hike. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I have found, as I start to move about the world again, I was unsteady on my feet. Now, I've got a little fear of heights, and hiking usually requires a little bit of that. And I found that I've been much more unsteady on my feet than I had been in many years. I kind of overcame a lot of it. And here it came back again, this instability. Well, most of our worlds have been pulled out from under us. Makes a lot of sense. So I pay special attention. I'm getting out there and hiking a little harder hikes again, but being very mindful that my nervous system needs some nurturing now. And so we'll talk about some methods, some ways. I think it's, in my opinion, most of us let too much in. So we're news hounds, and people say, well, you have to know what's going on in the world. Yes, to a degree, to the degree that it's not taking its toll on your body. So make a decision about how you begin your day. Do you begin your day? Do you open your eyes and check your phone for the news? Oh my gosh, what happened in the world last night? You can't fix it. There's nothing in this moment that you can really do about it. So why not take that moment, especially right upon waking? And I believe very strongly, obviously, in a meditation practice, start with a meditation, start with some breathing. Really, first, calm the nervous system before you rile it up. The news will rile up your nervous system, no question about it. So if you take the time to land in the morning, to settle, even, drinking a stimulant right away to quote unquote wake yourself up, you might want to think about that, because it will set you high right away. Your nervous system will be elevated right away. So it's interesting to think about doing a calming practice upon waking, but maybe give it a shot, try that out. And we've got a ton of meditations. So if you go to our YouTube channel, there's a whole lot of me. There's a lot of meditations up there, so you can tune into them. So that's the first thing first. Direct your day first thing in the morning. Really limit yourself. Be your own best partner when it comes to how much media you take in. You ever do this? You watch the same story again and again and again and again and again. It doesn't change. It's the same media story, but somehow, because they run it every couple of minutes, just in case somebody missed it, you're sitting there and you're watching it again and again. Know that every single time you're watching that, it is giving a hit to your nervous system and contributing to that crisis fatigue. And then all of us have that friend that always wants to talk about all their ailments and their problems in life, or the problems of the world. And you get on the phone with them, maybe that's part of your morning, and they're just bombarding you with all this suffering and negativity. And yes, we need to be compassionate for the suffering in the world, but no, we can't hold it all on our shoulders. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Take good care of yourself. So that might mean not getting on the phone with that person. Might mean not getting on the phone at all. It might mean getting out in nature. For me, that just calms my nervous system very quickly. So think about, and maybe even make a list of those things that are going to support you. Take a bath. Sleep more if you need to. Sleep more if you need to. Let yourself go into that space where you can be calm, where you're not taking in information. Know that fatigue is part of this. And the only way you can restore sometimes is to actually just sleep and honor yourself in that. I know I'm sleeping more than I've ever slept in my life, and I'm welcoming it in. I need to rest. This has been a lot. So honor yourself in that. Sometimes your pets can be the best soothers in the world. Those of you who have animals, spend some time with your animals. Have a routine. So I have an increasing number of things I have to do every day to support my good health. So whether it's drinking ginger tea or eating the foods that I need, listening to certain music or certain teachers. So create a routine for yourself as well. Um, that will help to just sort of level out your nervous system. So we're going to do a meditation because I'm talking long, but this is a big topic and we will cover it again. So put away any anything extra, anything that is not soothing for you right now. And let's take a comfortable seat and connect with your breath. You can allow the eyes to close down gently if that feels good for you. Alternately, you can leave the eyes open just enough to let some light in. And connect with your breath. So this can be your first line of defense. How do I get over this fatigue? How do I settle my nervous system? Meditation is deep rest. So sometimes if you feel sleepy, you can just meditate for a few minutes and come out refreshed, rejuvenated, re-energized. So connect with your breath now, just listening to the breath sounds that your body makes. Or if you're a visual person, you might see the breath coming in and out. So your breath is the first line of awareness. What is my breath doing? What is my breath telling me? If it's short and shallow, you might be in that crisis fatigue phase. Without judgment, just knowledge, be that witness. Oh, I'm having a little crisis fatigue today. How can I take care of myself? Just witnessing the inhale and the exhale. Not trying to control the breath in any way, just noticing that breath. Feel your rib cage expand on the inhale. Allow the rib cage to stay expanded when you exhale. So crisis can make us shut down and contract. Now we can breathe ourselves into expansion. Take up all the space that you are meant to take up. Not letting the weight contract or make us smaller or crush us down. We're allowing ourselves to expand to our fullest capacity. Showing up for yourself. And now allow that feeling of expansion to travel throughout the body. So you can do a body scan that begins at the top of your head. So just checking in. If my forehead is crinkled or my brows are knit, I might be feeling some of that fatigue there. I can feel the muscles there just release and expand. The eyebrows can fall. You can pay some attention to the skin around my mouth. Are my lips pursed? Are they tense? Can I let a gentle smile expand on my lips? Is my jaw clenched? And I let it release gently. Lips and teeth part gently as well. And I slide the low jaw back, which allows the neck to elongate. And then pay attention to the muscles at the sides of your scalp. Am I thinking a lot? Am I trying to solve the world's problems in this moment? Can I give myself a break from that? Inhaling this sense of lightness into your head. Feeling the head almost floating at the top of the neck. Allowing the sides of the neck to release. And the shoulders to just float at the level of the base of the neck. So the head floats at the top of the neck. And the shoulders just float at the base of the neck. As you inhale fully, you can feel that buoyant feeling in the shoulders. Keeping that expansion on the exhale. And then the next inhale can be settled down in the abdomen and let the abdomen expand. So we don't need to hold the stomach muscles tight, anything like that. So let the abdomen expand and be full. Feel the hips sink weighty down into the seat beneath you. If there's been any back pain, low back strain or pain, see if you can allow that area to expand as well. If you're able to send the breath there, great. If not, just send your attention into the low back. Feel an expansion in the low ribs in the back body. Let the legs and the feet and the hands just be heavy and sink down. And the arms hang heavy by the sides. Feel your breath. Feel your body. And now gently scan to see if there's any other areas of contraction, pain, anything new or old that you can address now with your awareness. Just a gentle, settled awareness on that area can promote huge change. Know that in this moment, you are safe, you are loved, you are worthy. In this moment, if you're within the sound of my voice, odds are you're not in crisis. So tell your body that right now we are not in crisis. Right now we're safe. And let your body take that in. If you're feeling some tension anywhere in the body, around the abdomen especially, just notice that that's where many of us hold our tension. So you can place your hands anywhere in the body that you feel needs a little more TLC. So you might place the hands on the low abdomen, you might place the hands on the heart, the back of the neck, the low back, Breathe into your hands to find some expansion where there once was contraction. Find some freedom. Find some joy where there once was sadness. Find presence and mindfulness where there was worry and strife. Now, notice the quality of your breath. Is it slowed? Is it fuller? Does it feel like you can enjoy the breath more? Can you experience the breath a little bit more now? Can you feel it opening all those contracted areas in your heart, in your mind, in your body? Now, if you're home or in a place where you're safe to do so and you choose to stay in meditation, please feel free to do so. If you fall asleep, don't beat yourself up about it. You just needed rest. Otherwise, we're going to gently bring you out of meditation. You can release the hands down into your lap or wherever they sit. Start to bring the awareness back to the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Or checking in by stretching your neck gently. And ultimately, we'll allow the eyes to flutter open. You know, often the eyes want to shut down again, so that's fine. Welcome yourself back to the moment, and I welcome you back to the moment. So, you know, if you've listened today, then you can fast forward next time and just go right to the meditation. It's totally fine. This is here for you. It will be recorded for you. Allow this to be, if you resonate with it, to be one of those tools in your toolbox to help you support yourself through this crisis fatigue. It's very normal to have it. Most of us do. These are some ways that you can support yourself through it. So we'll give you a moment if you want to type in any questions or comments. Let me know how that went for you. So people are always, or often in physical classes or online, it's like, oh, I don't want to ask that question. It's a stupid question, or I don't want to share my experience. It so helps people if you do that. It helps me. It helps other people that are listening if you want to share. So don't ever feel shy about that. There's no stupid questions, and somebody else has the same questions in mind. Somebody else has the same struggles. And I feel like that's one of the things that really helps us with crisis fatigue, is to remember that you have so much support, that there are so many people having the same experience. I mean, and this is kind of the first time in our history where the entire world was having the same experience at the same time. Can we capitalize on that a little bit and just realize how connected we all are? I mean, that's a beautiful gift that could come out of this whole horrible situation. Just the remembrance, the reminder that we are all humans having the exact same experience at the exact same time. So I honor you. I appreciate you. I thank you deeply for showing up with me today. Let us know if there's any other way we can support you, and we will see you next week, same time. Thank you so much. Be well.